Errol Spence Jr. had no guarantee for the Terence Crawford fight. You can't hide the truth forever. Alright, y'all, so, it's all coming out now. Both fighters supposedly have their next fight lined up. Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman hasn't been confirmed yet, but a lot of people are reporting that that's the next fight. I'm not sold yet. There's still a chance that Errol Spence could fight someone else, maybe Boots, maybe Virgil, maybe Pacquiao. There's still a chance for someone else, there's still a chance for a better fight to be made when it comes to Errol Spence Jr. So don't take his next fight as being Keith Thurman just yet. It might not be set in stone yet. But now the lies are coming out. What was being told and what was being said about the contract negotiation. Both sides are now giving their story to the public about what happened. And a lot of things have been said so far. A lot more to be said. But I want to touch on one thing. And this was something that a lot of people were reporting about why this fight wasn't going to take place. And it was that guaranteed money. Guaranteed money. That's all you kept hearing. Terence Crawford shouldn't take a fight without no guaranteed money. PBC is broke because of guaranteed money. You can't have a super fight if there's no guaranteed money. Now, these were all the excuses being made on behalf of Terence Crawford for not signing off on the fight, basically. And now it's coming out that, hey, neither one of these fighters were getting a guaranteed paycheck, which, I felt like when it first broke, it don't make no sense for one fighter to be getting a guaranteed paycheck and then the other one's not getting anything. They don't even sound right. So who wouldn't oppose a contract like that? Who wouldn't say, hey, I'm not signing this, when you phrase it that way? But as always, when this is something that's being debated within the public, there's always information that's being withheld to support one side of the story and to make the other side look suspicious or like they're trying to make some tomfoolery happen. So, what does that even mean that Errol Spence wasn't getting a guarantee? Well, it means both of these fighters were taking equal risk when it comes to the fight because of the situation. What do I mean by that? The situation is that Terence Crawford isn't represented by a promotional company. So when it comes to that fight, there was no one to front his half of the money. So normally, I believe what happens is if there's two promotional companies involved in the fight, they're both taking equal risk on the fight. Since Terence Crawford isn't represented by a promotional company, he's just representing himself. He's not actually putting up any of the risk to make the fight. So I feel like PBC's answer to that was, okay, well, if you're not taking any of the risk, we're taking all of the risk. If the fight's a flop, it's a flop on us. If the fight's a success, it's a success on us. So what they're basically doing is they're guaranteeing themselves a set amount of money, and they're going to give the fighters what is generated off the fight. Basically, how the fight is promoted, how the fight does, how these two fighters go about promoting themselves and how their performances are once they do hit the ring. That's what's going to determine how much you get paid off that fight. It's not like I'm going in and I want $15 million for the fight and they just hand me a check for $15 million and that's it. There's no upside, there's no downside, it's just a flat rate. In this situation, there was plenty of upside because, like I keep saying, nobody knew that Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao was going to sell umpteen million pay-per-views. Nobody saw that coming, even though both of those guys were selling upwards of almost 1 million pay-per-views per fight apiece. Nobody could have predicted that fight was going to do the numbers that it did. So there was plenty of upside for Spence versus Crawford because a lot of people know both these fighters. A lot of people want to see this fight. a lot of people believe that this is the best fight in boxing. So, me personally, I think that they could have at least did a quarter of what Maypac did. If he would have took the no upfront money contract and just went off that back end money, if they would have generated half of what Maypac generated, you know, that's like 3 times more than what that flat rate $15 million he would have took, or $10 million he would have took. So why would you, I understand why Al Heyman would say, why would you put a cap on that? There's no need to cap it. We're going to get our money back. We know, we're kind of sure of what we're going to make back off the fight. But what the fight generates is what you guys are going to make. So I think that there was a possibility of both of those guys getting from $25 to $30 million upwards. You know, like low end money would be like 25 to 30 million off that fight. But a lot of people don't feel like that because they think that nobody sells pay-per-views anymore, and that for some reason that's all people seem to think back end money is pay-per-view money, and they're gonna base it off of the pay-per-view buys. So if Spence did like 200,000 buys, you throw Crawford in there, you might do 300,000 buys, 400,000 buys. 400,000 buys, I think, gets you like somewhere around $20 million, $22 million. You know, and that's not bad. That's like $10 million a piece, $12 million a piece. That's not bad, but we don't know what all goes into the back end. Hey, do they get a percentage of concessions? Do they get a percentage of replays of the fight? Do they get a percentage of this or that? You know, I think that's where the real money is coming in with that back end money, and that's the reason why Errol Spence Jr. was so adamant about saying, hey, well, you got $25 million offered to us, where's our back end money? He knows what the back end money is worth. Terence Crawford doesn't seem to know what back end money is worth. He's just going after that initial paycheck because that's what he's used to getting, those upfront fees from Bob Arum, and he was used to that. He liked that model, and that's what he wanted to stick with. But obviously Errol Spence knows better. So I think even if they gave Terence Crawford a guarantee, he still wouldn't have signed off on the fight. But because of the way that the contract was presented and how long it took, it gave Terence Crawford an easy out. You know, and that might be a reason why he negotiated for so long. He got to rest up. He got to weigh all his options. And at the end of the day, he got to pick the best one for him. Is that fair? No, because boxing fans suffer once again. But at the end of the day, he's been exposed as a liar now. Like, it's crazy because you're hurting your own career by lying to the fans. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're more than likely to get a response on the tube. Holler at me over there. And we are Manny.
It's your boy Keys, neighborhood employee. Niggas knew that I was coming with fire. Y'all ain't up to my pie and up under a car. Your head under a tie, it's the S and the I. Player, we supposed to win. I'm in the booth focusing with coke in hand. Dude hate it when you see the chief running in. Ass mouth hurting like his wisdom teeth coming in. Now that's a roundhouse kick. Come round your house, letting rounds out quick. From Newburgh to downtown, it's that Midwest to down south shit. Y'all ain't fucking weed. She chillin', saying tryna put the feel on the mouth. What's good? She nothing, saying tryna show these niggas how to round.